Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's explainer. I am so incredibly excited about this one because, well, we're looking at something that can literally transform the way you communicate. We're going to take one small, frankly, often feared word and show you how mastering it can instantly take your English from feeling a bit rigid or mechanical to highly emotionally intelligent. If you've ever felt nervous about sounding too harsh or making a mistake, you are in the exact right place.
So let's kick things off with a really common observation. Have you ever listened to fluent English speakers chatting and thought to yourself, why do they sound so soft, so polite, and just so gentle with each other? It's a genuine question that learners ask us all the time. Now, you might think the secret is years of studying advanced, incredibly complicated grammar, but it's actually not. No way. The real secret to sounding perfectly polite and natural is simply the word would.
Okay, let's dive into section 1. A pillow for your words. We're going to talk about softening your English and completely breaking down that emotional barrier of sounding demanding.
To really grasp this, we have to completely redefine what this word means in our heads. Would is not just the past tense of will, which, let's be honest, is how it's usually taught in textbooks. Instead, I want you to think of it as an attitude. It's about how you feel and how you sound to the person you're actually talking to. It's basically a social tool designed to protect your relationships and make your communication gentle, thoughtful, and, above all, safe. You see, English isn't just a rigid language of rules, it's social behavior.
I absolutely love this quote from our source material. Would is a cushion, a soft pillow for your words. When you're learning English, the fear of accidentally sounding rude or aggressive, it's so real. It's genuinely terrifying. But this word acts as your safety net. If you sprinkle would into your sentence, it cushions the impact. It ensures that whatever you're trying to say lands softly and kindly on the ears of your listener.
Moving right along to section 2, politeness in daily life. Let's look at some real-world scenarios to see how this actually plays out.
Think about the immediate tonal shift here. If you say, "I want coffee," it's grammatically correct, sure, but it's incredibly direct. It's strong. It honestly almost sounds like a command. But shift that slightly to, "I would like coffee," and immediately, the whole vibe changes. It becomes softer, kinder, and significantly more polite. If you're a beginner and you're ever unsure of what to say, "I would like" is always a safe bet.
And this brilliantly illustrates how using would can completely revolutionize a standard everyday interaction, like ordering at a restaurant. If you sit down at a table and bark out, "Give me water," well, that sounds objectively rude. But if you pivot to, "I would like some water, please," it's completely natural, it's totally safe. That one sentence literally opens doors. People will smile at you, they'll be happy to help you, and you instantly sound like a fluent, respectful speaker.
This also applies to the everyday choices we make in casual conversation. When you say, "I choose tea," or "I will call you," it feels very final, doesn't it? Like a strong, non-negotiable decision. But by adding our soft pillow, saying, "I would choose tea," or "I would call you," the choice suddenly feels flexible. It feels open to suggestion. It completely takes the pressure off both you and the listener. And honestly, this is exactly how real humans talk. We don't speak like robots reading from a script. We navigate our conversations softly.
Let's jump into section 3, memories, imagination, and dreams. This is where we use would to reflect on the past and unlock something truly magical. Think about how a timeline of your life works. When we talk about the past, we often use would to describe a repeating habit rather than just a one-off event. If you tell a friend, "When I was young, I would wake up early on Sundays," you aren't just talking about one specific Sunday. You're talking about a repeating pattern across countless Sundays.
This phrasing instantly makes the sentence feel calm, routine-based, and incredibly nostalgic. It shows you're reflecting on a feeling, not just stating a cold, hard fact.
You can really, truly feel the difference here. I played football reads almost like a simple police report of an event. But I would play football. Wow, that sounds like a warm, emotional memory. You can almost see the faces of your childhood friends and hear their voices. This proves that native speakers don't just use this word for grammar's sake, they use it to inject heart and raw emotion into their stories.
And you know what? It also lets us time travel into the future, straight into our imaginations. Listen to the difference between what will you do and what would you do. That second phrase practically begs you to use your imagination. It gives you permission to dream. You can say, if I had more time, I would travel the world, or I would live right near the ocean. The best part? You don't need to have perfectly mastered advanced conditional grammar to pull this off. You just need one idea, one feeling, and our magic word.
Now for Section 4, Navigating Hard Conversations Softly. Let's see how we can smoothly steer through conflict and professional disagreements.
Now, what's really interesting here is how changing just one word completely flips the power dynamic of giving advice. If your colleague is exhausted and you say, "You need rest," it comes across as bossy, basically like an order. And nobody likes being ordered around, right? But if you say, "I would try to rest more," you suddenly become caring and supportive. This softer approach prevents the other person from feeling attacked, which goes a long way in protecting your friendship or working relationship.
Let's face it, disagreeing in a second language is absolutely terrifying. Saying you are wrong is highly aggressive and can easily ignite a fight. But look at this incredible, elegant alternative. I would see it a little differently. That phrasing is so respectful, so smart, and honestly, incredibly mature. It allows you to confidently stand your ground and express your opinion, while keeping the interaction perfectly polite and completely safe.
And this kind of professionalism translates flawlessly into the workplace, whether you're writing emails or sitting in meetings. Instead of demanding things, you write, "I would like to schedule a meeting." Instead of bluntly saying, "Give me notes," you say, "I would appreciate your feedback." And if you make a mistake, instead of panicking, you just calmly say, "I would take responsibility for this." These simple go-to phrases instantly upgrade your English, making you sound highly confident and deeply professional.
Which brings us to our final section. Section 5, Building Your Speaking Confidence. We are going to connect this feeling of emotional safety directly to building your actual courage.
So many learners just stay silent out of the sheer fear of making a mistake. They constantly tell themselves, "I can't speak English well." That is such a defeated mindset. But look at what happens when we use our soft pillow instead. "I would like to improve my English." That tiny, simple shift in phrasing completely changes your reality. It instantly demonstrates hope, a growth mindset, and a genuine willingness to learn. It clearly tells the listener, "Hey, I am trying and I am moving forward."
This actually creates a beautiful, empowering cycle. Step 1. You start using would slowly in your daily life. Step 2. Because you're using it, you start to feel polite. And more importantly, you feel entirely safe from accidentally sounding rude. Step 3. That underlying feeling of safety actively builds your speaking confidence. You start realizing people are smiling back at you. And step 4, because you finally have that confidence, you begin to speak so much more naturally. Confidence fundamentally comes from feeling safe, and this word is the ultimate safety net.
I want to speak directly to anyone watching this explainer who might be studying late at night, feeling frustrated, and dealing with a lot of self-doubt. Please remember this quote. English is about feelings, not rules.
Learning a language isn't about perfectly memorizing textbooks or never pausing or speaking at lightning speed. It's about human connection. It's about expressing your true self to another person.
And that right there is why this single phrase is so incredibly powerful. I would try again. It's a brave, resilient phrase. It means you are giving yourself permission to accept your mistakes, to not be perfect, and to just keep going anyway. Effort is often invisible, and sometimes the struggle is really hard. But every wrong sentence is just a stepping stone to a right one. So what does this all mean for you? Well, it brings us to our final thought for this explainer. You have a choice moving forward. Will you stay silent out of grammar anxiety and the paralyzing fear of making a mistake? Or will you embrace this soft pillow, use it to feel safe, and finally start sharing your honest, beautiful, and profoundly human voice with the world? The choice is completely yours, but I highly recommend you start speaking today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and as always, keep learning.